Right, summer's nearly finished. We're sort of in autumn now. All these flowers will soon disappear. And I just want to talk about Varroa. Now the bees have... This is a really crude diagram of a bee. But what's happening is a brood is contracting. So instead of having a brood in your box about this big, you end up with brood about this size. Now the Varroa, this is my little crude model of a Varroa, is still in the cells at the moment, and it can't survive in honey cells, and it can't survive on its own on empty cells. So at this time of year it'll be coming out and going on the bees. Now this is probably a little bit life size, so it will be on, you'll see pictures on Google. If you Google it, and you'll see Varroa on the backs of bees, you'll see them on the tops, and this is how I've made it. It's got 8 legs. I put Velcro on the back of it. It's got a mouth part which pierces the bees. It also has 8 legs. There should be 8 legs there, unless one's dropped off. And these are all covered in hairs. In fact, it's very hairy. Now I'm sure this acts as a Velcro itself onto the bees, and they can attach themselves on the bees because they've got small hairs, and they've got small hairs all the way down here, and they attach to the bees. Now the trouble is, at this time of year bees will tend to try and get into other hives and robs, so that what they do is hitch a ride and they go to another colony, and then they'll jump off. Now the best time to treat them is now to try and get these Varroa to drop off the bees, and they'll be climbing all over at the moment. You've got more of a chance to see them at this time of year than any other time. So they'll be coming off the larva which they've been using, sucking all the fat and the juices out of the larva, and now they need a source of heat to survive the winter, and also they need some food as well. Now Varroa don't stay very long on here. As soon as the cold weather comes, they've got to get tucked away, and they usually tuck themselves away where the bee can't clean itself. Bees are very hard to clean themselves anyway, because of they've got no fingers like I have. They're not very dexterous, so they're very good at standing. Now when the Varroa comes, it goes under these platelets here, and it tucks itself away. Now it's very hard to remove, and you can hardly see it sometimes, and you'll only just see a little tiny bit of the Varroa sticking out here. Now this keeps it really nice and warm over winter, and also it digs right in, and its mouth parts pierce the underneath and starts eating the fat. And this happens all winter, and probably on a warm day it might come out of there and go to another bee. So you've got 2 options: to clear them off the bee right now, which use vapor, but later on in the year you have to use a method which is trickling oxalic acid in sugar onto the bees, and that seems to release the Varroa, and they drop off onto your screens. And I've never found a live one on the screen or underneath the screen. They always are dead. So this is the best time, probably now and later on in the winter, just to do it. It's your only window of opportunity to get them. Otherwise they're always in a sealed cell, tucked up, eating the larva inside. So this is one of the opportunities, is now and probably November or early in the spring, to catch these little mites and knock the numbers right the way down.